Hey Spartans, it's Chrissy K here, and just when you thought we were done with Halo Infinite Legendary shenanigans, guess what? We're not! Today begins Tyrant's Halo Infinite Legendary Walkthrough 2.0. The difference is, he's not using the Scorpion gun. Wait, Tyrant, are you serious? No Scorpion gun on Legendary difficulty?
Yes.
Say the words, please.
The words, please.
Tyrant, you mother...
What's up everyone, it's the Tyrant here and welcome to my Halo Infinite Legendary Walkthrough 2.0. Yes, I was not planning on releasing this until selectable missions became a thing in Halo Infinite in a future patch or update. But for this mission in particular, I wanted to go ahead and do it now because A, it's not really going to be affected by selectable missions, and B, because of the Season 2 update in Halo Infinite, a lot of quote-unquote beneficial glitches that were available to use in campaign were removed. And that includes my skip that I used in my 1.0 walkthrough for this mission. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you not only how to beat this mission without that skip, but I'm going to give you some additional tactics as well. This is a very special month for me because A, I just became a Papa Tyrant. Oh, that is exciting. And also, you know, a little fun side note, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, marks the 10-year anniversary of my first full campaign and cutscenes video for this channel, which was Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. So we're going to celebrate that by launching my Legendary 2.0 walkthrough for this game, Halo Infinite, starting with Mission Gabrakan. So when you start out, you have an assault rifle and a sidekick, aka the Magnum pistol, whatever you want to call it. What I did not realize the first time around when I did this walkthrough is there's a battle rifle in this room, which is extremely useful in this game. And combine that with the fact that there are a lot of kinetic weapon refill stations, you can use it as long as you want to. Obviously, you can use the bandana skull as well. Eventually, I'll have a video up here showcasing how you can get that as well as the rest of the skulls, but it's not necessary. So to get the battle rifle, you just jump on top of this crate right here that's on a crane, and it doesn't really matter which weapon you swap it out with. I tend to drop the assault rifle because it's pretty useless in this game overall, at least in terms of campaign on Legendary. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the sidekick just to take out these first few grunts, just to save some ammo for the battle rifle. You will get a kinetic refill in the very near future, but go ahead and conserve your ammo while you can. You have a few grunts in this room. Take out that one on the panel, obviously. There are a few down here. Sometimes there are side areas in this room on the bottom floor that grunts can hide, so just keep an eye on your radar. There are a few grunts that come from that door that you're supposed to exit from, or exit to, sorry. So basically just keep an eye on your radar. Again, they do tend to hide a little bit, but once this area is clear, go ahead and trade out the sidearm for a mangler. It's the best secondary option if you don't have a battle rifle available. For this brute, this first brute, he's extremely easy if you have the battle rifle. As soon as the cutscene ends, your reticle aligns directly with his head, so you just have to pull the trigger a few times. He doesn't have a helmet, so he just goes down in an instant. All he has is that mouthpiece of his. So, you know, as soon as the cutscene ends, go ahead, just take aim. Well, you don't have to because the game does it for you. And see, he just went down that easy. That simple. The battle rifle is going to be your primary weapon throughout most of this mission. Eventually, we're going to swap out the mangler for a pulse carbine, which we'll get to in a bit. But in this room right here, you have lots of fusion coils and fusion stations. You can use it to blow up all the grunts. You have a couple of grunts on the side of it here, and again, you have a kinetic refill station right there. It doesn't have very much ammo in it. I think you can refill them basically once, and that's about it. But the battle rifle in this game has like double the ammo capacity that the rest of them do in terms of reserve ammo, I should say. So in this room right here, focus primarily on the brute. on the upper platform right there on the ramp. They tend to be pretty aggressive, and they can rush you pretty quickly. The ones on the ground level right there are pretty easy to take down. Again, you have one on the left, one in the back. Not that difficult. Now, in this area right here, this is where you start to get a little bit more wide open. The pulse carbine is going to be right here. Swap the mangler out for that. The first group of enemies you're going to come across here are shielded jackals. By the way, if you fall in that little pit right there, it's not a big deal. There is a platform there, so you're good to go. There are plenty of fusion coils here, or plasma fusion coils. I don't know their specific category. But you can decimate most of them pretty easily. I try to avoid throwing them as much as possible, at least in mid-combat, because they can shoot them out of your hands. So be wary of that. So just go ahead and take out these two brutes. There is another kinetic refill station right beside you over to the left. So we're going to go ahead, after we take out this guy right here, and refill. There we go. And so you should have 100% pulse carbine ammo and 100% battle rifle ammo at this point. So yeah, in previous titles you could carry up to 108 extra rounds of battle rifle ammo. In Halo Infinite it can be 216. So that's pretty awesome. So combine that with the kinetic refill stations, you can pretty much carry this with you throughout the entire game if you want to. Especially if you had the bandana skull onto it, which I'm trying to avoid for this walkthrough. It created a little bit of a controversy when I did my legendary walkthrough for Halo Anniversary 10 years ago. So I'm just going to try to use the standard stuff that you get in the game. So right here you have one shielded jackal and a few grunts. Nothing difficult. And your exit door is right there on the left-hand side. You can pick up some grenades over there if you need them. And we have a couple of brutes in this room. Most of them are in the back. They all have manglers, so you're in pretty good shape. You know, just, again, keep your distance. That's the great thing about the battle rifle, is you can be... It's classified as a mid-range weapon, but it's pretty much a long-range weapon in terms of most circumstances that you're going to encounter. Especially in this mission. So go ahead and just take these guys out. Brutes are your primary objective here because they have manglers. Manglers can be pretty devastating to your shields, even more so than, seemingly at least, the plasma weapons, which is, I find, interesting. So usually, you know, from my 1.0 walkthrough, we'd go to the door on the right and bash it a few times. Can't do that anymore because that glitch has been patched. So we're going to go through straight ahead, take out those 4 shielded jackals. You have another kinetic refill station right here. Be very wary over there as far as the door on the right in this room, but we don't have to worry about that quite yet. So this is going to be primarily just grunts and brutes right here, but there are 2 floors, so you have to be wary of the brutes on the upper floor. You can bait most of them out just by shooting. If you don't want to do that, you can use the grapple hook just to clamber on up there. Just be very careful that you don't have a brute up there, just so keep an eye on your radar. That's one of the things that I have had to adjust to in this game, because for the first time since Halo Combat Evolved, the radar has actually been relevant. I really haven't paid much attention to it in titles since Halo Combat Evolved. But here, because there were so many enemies and so many places for them to hide and take cover, yes, you definitely do want to keep an eye on that radar. So we're going to go ahead and take out these brutes up here. Oh, okay. Almost got me. The Mangler is, again, very powerful. So again, for missions that do not have the battle rifle, I don't know what starting weapons are going to be when selectable missions become a thing. So let's say for the mission Foundation that does not have a battle rifle in it at all, if it does not start you with a battle rifle, the Mangler is still a pretty decent follow-up weapon. So that's the door I was talking about right there, the one on the right. You do want to be careful because there are several brutes, grunts, there are a couple of jackals, and there's a plasma cannon turret there as well. So you do need to be very careful of that. But again, take your time. There is a bit of a barrier there, so you can chuck some grenades and clear out some of the enemies that way. And they're not going to advance to you, so you've got plenty of places to hide. You can see I've got like 1% life there, so they managed to basically tag team me in that. So be very careful how you approach this. There are lots of enemies that can tag team you here, but just use cover, you know, duck in and out, use the battle rifle, and look, all the enemies fell just like that. There's only this one guy left. He's like, yeah, all my buddies fell. Oh, I got a chance. No, I don't. But the battle rifle is king in this game. I definitely severely underrated it in previous playthroughs. So now we're going to get to the bridge. And I made it so that its bark is far worse than its bite. It seems very intimidating because it is completely occupied by brutes. All of them are minor brutes except for one captain at the deck side level who he has a Ravager, basically, and he spams the heck out of it when he is in range of you, and it's very difficult to dodge those attacks. I want to show you how to deal with this. So this is a two-wave battle. First of all, you need to deal with the initial brutes that are in there at the start of the battle. That includes the brute captain and all of his companions. Once you activate the fusion coil or fusion cores or whatever they're called here, essentially you're going to have two waves to deal with. The first wave is going to come out once you destroy the first fusion core, and then the second wave, or no, well, I'll show you as it comes. So, getting in this mission right from the get-go, don't venture too far from this doorway. Yes, it is entirely possible to assassinate all of these guys without being detected, but it is a gamble, so I would not recommend it. If you stand in this doorway and don't venture out too far into the bridge, the door will not close, and you can retreat back as much as you want to. So that's the captain right there. He was our biggest threat in this particular battle. So go ahead and take out as many brutes as you can see from this vantage point. We have one more right here. The captain was the main one I was concerned about. You know, sometimes he'll run out, sometimes he'll stand where he is, but you want to be able to take cover when you can. Once you've ventured out just a few feet, the door behind you will close, and then you're sort of forced to maneuver around the room. There is a kinetic refill station right over here on the right-hand side of the room, or the left-hand side of the room, sorry. And so you can go ahead and use that. And so at this point, once you're comfortable with the amount of ammo that you have, we're going to go ahead and activate the control panel right here, which will expose the fusion cores. There are two of them. You can destroy them from ground level, or, as I'm going to show you, you can actually destroy them from above as well, which may save you a little bit of trouble. Now, once you have gone ahead and destroyed the panel, some enemies are going to emerge. And the first notable ones are the two brutes over here on the left-hand side. You can go ahead and take these guys out pretty easily. The deck on the bridge right here is a great vantage point. The enemies are not going to attack you here. Well, let me rephrase that. They're going to shoot at you, but they're not going to actually advance on your location. So it's a great vantage point and a great place to take cover if need be. The vast majority of enemies for the remainder of this battle are going to be on the underlevel. And so if you want, you can go down there and engage them. I would recommend at least taking out the first wave of them. So there are actually technically three waves here. The initial one, the wave when you activate the panel. When you destroy the first fusion core, another wave is going to emerge. There is technically a fourth wave, but we're going to avoid that one entirely. I'm going to show you how. So again, just use this middle floor right here to take out the grunts, jackals, and brutes. And if you need to get more ammo, again, there's that kinetic refill station right over there. It's very full, so you have plenty of ammo here, and the battle rifle is king. You can use the battle rifle for pretty much all of this. If you want to do a little bit of a cheat, you know, I've noticed that with the shielded jackals in particular, the pulse carbine does work very well against them. And since you don't have any shielded enemies in this mission, you know, it's not like you have to save the pulse carbine for anything in particular. It's just a great secondary weapon to have. I would say that in terms of non-heavy enemies like hunters and bosses and things like that. The best weapons in this game by far are the standard battle rifle and the pulse carbine, although later on in the game the sentinel beam will basically take the place of the pulse carbine. So again, just clear out this area right here. We have 2 fusion cores, 1 on each side. Keep it on your radar. As you can see, we got a couple enemies close by. They're underneath us right now. So we're going to go ahead and take these guys out. I can tell they're probably small enemies, probably a brute and a jackal. Yep, we got a brute right here. Yep, and there's the jackal. Okay, so we're just going to make sure this area is clear for at least the first wave. Once the first fusion core is destroyed, the second one is actually very simple. You can technically do this with both, but because the enemies do tend to scatter and can get on both levels, that's the reason why I recommend it. You at least take out the first wave of enemies here and then take out the first fusion core so you're not overwhelmed, because they can surround you very easily. One of my biggest flaws that I've made in my attempts in this game, my playthroughs, is not being aware of my surroundings. So we're going to go ahead and take care of this first core right here. There are different ways that you can do that. If you want to use the battle rifle, you can do that. It only takes a few trigger pulls, and that's about it. Pulse carbine works too. So we're going to go ahead and just shoot this with a battle rifle. There we go. Alright, so as soon as you shoot the fusion core, the next wave is going to show up. You want to get back to the bridge, or the deck on the bridge, as quickly as you can to avoid the next wave of enemies. Okay, so from here, you can actually shoot the second fusion core from above. You do not have to go down below where most of the enemies currently are. But I would recommend just making sure you're aware of your surroundings and making sure there are no enemies that are currently targeting you. Because they can, they can flank you pretty easily. I was going to say flak. I'm glad I said flank. Flank you pretty easily. So, and again, any aggressive enemies that you see trying to get to the second floor, make sure you take care of them first. Again, keep an eye on that kinetic refill station, because you're going to want that in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take care of this guy right here. And that grunt. Just trying to make sure we make things as safe as we possibly can for us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and refill your kinetic ammo. And if you look right over here, and you just peer down, that's where the other fusion core is. So you don't actually have to go down there and deal with the enemies. You can just take it out right there. You can, again, theoretically do that with the other one too. See, and that's why you got to be careful. You can do it with both, but with the first wave, they are more aggressive. They do tend to ascend to the second level, but with this wave, they don't. So again, go ahead and once you've destroyed the second fusion core, retreat back up here. You're going to have to pull that lever. If you want to make sure that any other staggering enemies are around, you can go ahead and take care of them too. There is a plasma refill station right next to you over there on the left if you want to refill your pulse carbine if you need to. Once you have pulled the lever here, you really don't have to worry about the other enemies in the room. The next set of enemies you have to worry about is from your exit door, and it's just 2 grunts. And that's it. From there, it's pretty much just escaping the station. It gives me sort of Dawn vibes from Halo 4, if you remember that mission, where you were escaping and you had a lot of enemies. Some would engage you, some were just running for their lives. It's kind of the same situation here. There are certain points that you're going to want to take note of, because yes, some of the scenery can kill you if you're not careful, but I'm going to show you exactly how to get around that once Eshram shuts up and stops cackling and smiling. And Lord, dude, the word orthodontist comes to mind with you. So as soon as he stops smiling and monologuing, we're going to go ahead and get right back to this. So your exit is going to be over there on the left-hand side.
Who is that? Do you know him?
Again, make sure you've got your battle rifle equipped. Again, you've got kinetic refill stations and plasma refill stations as well. You've got 2 grunts right here. You're going to have a few grunts right up ahead. You can largely ignore them if you want to. There's another kinetic refill station if you need it. We are back to full ammo capacity. You can probably bypass these guys. It's the end of the mission, so why take any chances if you don't have to? Up ahead, you're going to have a few enemies that... Don't worry about that brute, by the way. There is that door that's halfway down. You can down some of the enemies right here. These guys you're going to have to take out. The ship is not going to do it for you. So just be wary. You do have plenty of cover here, so just, you know, take your time. Duck back and forth as you need be, in and out of cover. You've got a couple of brutes here, a few grunts. Again, with the battle rifle, these guys go down. It's a shooting gallery at this point. Now, this next area right here, there's a corridor with a fusion coil. There is an explosion that happens, and if you don't take out the fusion coil first, there is a high chance the fusion coil will kill you. So go ahead and just blow that thing up. Had to learn that the hard way a few times. So you'll have a few enemies in this room. Watch the floor because there's some sort of plasma or coolant down there. Yeah, it's definitely coolant. That can damage you. It won't kill you instantly. It's not like lava in Super Mario, but it can still damage you. On Legendary, it's not that big of a deal. On Lazo or Mythic, it's more so. So go ahead and drop down right here. You're going to have more refill stations in the next room, and then we're going to go on our little sequence of jumping from different platforms. It's going to be a platform jumper at this point. You can use that kinetic refill station if you want to. Right over here. There you go. So you're full on ammo. You're not going to have to really use a lot of ammo in this part, but it doesn't hurt to go, you know, full on. So for most of this segment right here, you don't even have to worry about grappling. You can if you want to. Sometimes it makes me feel more safe just doing it. But you could usually just run across the platforms or the box rooms, whatever they are. And that's about it. It's really not until the last part that you really need to worry because it is a bit on a timer. If you don't jump on that last platform fast enough, it'll drop down and you won't be able to reach it, at least not easily. So, and that platform's coming up right here. You see that one that's lowered? The one that's tilted right next to it is the one that's going to drop. So we need to get there as fast as we can so it doesn't drop and we miss our opportunity. So this is really the last part you need to worry about. Your exit here is going to have 2 levels. The upper level and the lower level, both are going to have enemies. You can safely take them out from this area. There are also lots of fusion coil / refill stations, whatever they are, that you can utilize as well. It's going to be mostly grunts and jackals. They're going to. I think there's like a couple of brutes on the bottom level, and I think I'm getting hit from behind. Hold on. Yeah, I know. That's what she said. All right, so we're going to take out these guys real quick. There we go. No issue there. So now you have no competition. It's all in front of you at this point, so just take your time. That way you don't have to worry about any enemies getting you, snagging you at the last part of the mission, because this part is very easy, in my opinion. All the difficult stuff is behind you now. And you also now have the battle rifle to carry over with you into the next mission if you so choose. Again, once selectable missions become a thing, that might be a different story, so I might have to change my tactics for Foundation. I might do a 1.5 walkthrough Foundation with the battle rifle, since I didn't do that with the first one. But for when selectable missions is a thing, I don't know if the battle rifle is going to be available at all in that mission, since there is no battle rifle in that mission. But yeah, that's it right there. That is Warship Gebraken on Legendary without the skip. So that is my Legendary 2.0 walkthrough for Warship Gebraken. And I hope you guys found this useful. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. And if you did find it useful, please tell me if you found anything that you thought that you could use that maybe I didn't use in this video. I'd love to hear about that too. And I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it and found it useful in your own legendary endeavors. And I hope you'll consider subscribing for more great content right here on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I'll catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.
Chief, you still with me?
I'm here.
Okay, give me a second. I'm coming to get you. Welcome back, Chief.